The 2025-26 hockey season could not have been possible without the collective efforts of so many dedicated people. Thank you to your parents and families, along with our incredible admissions team, for getting you all in to Stansted. Thank you to all of the devoted teachers for supporting our student athletes in the classroom and on the road throughout the busy season. Thank you to our house parents for being there for the kids upon late arrivals and early departures. Thank you to our arena staff, Leanne, Shannon, Josh, Mario, and Tommy, for their outstanding efforts at the Pat Burns Arena. Thank you to our wellness team for always being there for our athletes. Ms. Moore, Mr. Boulet, Ms. Bourget, especially Ms. Megan Vincent and Ms. Camille Roy for their efforts at the rink and on the road following our teams. And a very special thank you to Ms. Sonia Perron. We are all with you at this difficult time, Sonia, sending you much courage, thoughts, and prayers. Thank you to Mr. Myers, our strength coach, for pushing you all off ice in the weight room to get you stronger when no one is watching. Thank you to Mr. Gauthier and our drivers, our laundry staff, and the crew at the Arena Restaurant. Thank you to our business office for always making sure our teams are prepared to take the road for away meals. Thank you to Angela, Natasha, and our kitchen staff for managing all of the early and many late suppers. Thank you to Mr. Murray, Ms. Guerrera, Ms. Garrett, our communications team, for all of the amazing Instagram videos and social media work. Thank you to Mr. Castonguay, our referee assigner, and Mr. Carriere, our scorekeeper, for making sure all games ran smoothly. Thank you to all student volunteers who helped playing music during our many home games. A big shout out to Atsuho, Renato, Mackenzie, and Isabel for always saying yes. Thank you to Mr. Chan for all of his outstanding work in hockey ops. Thank you to all of the coaches for your tireless dedication with your teams. Thank you to all of the student athletes for working so hard balancing your sport with your academics. Lastly, thanks to all of you in this room, the loyal fans, the community of Stansted, and everyone who packed the Pat all year, making the Pat Burns Arena so electric for the numerous home games, tournaments, and showcases. And now, the first of our programs, U18 Hockey, Mr. Delorme.
Before I get started, I was going to say a few thank yous as well, but Mr. Ryu, you did a really good job of covering that. But I do want to particularly mention, like he mentioned, our physios and our medical staff. They worked hard all year to keep you guys on the ice, and we thank them. The other coaches in the program, I want to thank you as well for your support each and every day, particularly Coach Joseph, who's not here today, who was on the ice with our group for every practice and stepped in for 2 games when we were down a coach. I also want to thank Coach Dandino. Thank you for all that you've given to our hockey program over the past 3 years. You have truly helped develop this team and bring it to another level. On a personal note, working with you these past 2 seasons has been quite the experience. I've learned a lot from you. There have been a lot of laughs, and I'm very grateful for the experience, so thank you. Now, to our season. When I think back, I think it's fair to say it wasn't perfect, but it was meaningful. We played 23 RSEQ League games. We competed in 4 tournaments. We won the Galt tournament in November, lost in the quarterfinals of the RSEQ defeat in December, lost in the finals of the Coupe Dynamique in January, and dropped an overtime heartbreaking loss in the semifinals of the Sherbrooke tournament in January as well. It was a season of ups and downs. There were games that we probably should have won, and moments where we weren't as consistent as we needed to be. But at the same time, when we were at our best, we showed just how good we could be. I remember at one point during the season, there's one of you, and I'm sorry, I forget who, said to me, "Don't worry about playoffs, coach. We step up in tournaments." And honestly, you were right. When I think about that tournament final in Quebec City in January, that's one of the moments that stands out the most. We were exhausted, we were hurt, we were shorthanded, and we were going up against a stronger opponent. And still, you battled. You gave them everything you had for as long as you could. Ultimately, we fell short in that game, but that performance showed me something about this group. It showed me that you were willing to put it all on the line for each other, and that's what made this team special. And that ties directly into what we've talked about as the coaching staff all year. From day one, we emphasized a few simple things: accountability, a positive attitude, effort, and consistency. But beyond that, this group did something really important for this program. You raised the standard. You elevated the level of play, the expectations, and what it means to be part of this team. The way you practiced, for the most part, the way you competed, for the most part, and the way you carried yourselves, for the most part. You pushed this program forward. And that matters, because the standard that you guys set this year is what next year's U18 team will be measured against as well. Those ideas aren't complicated, but they're not easy to live by every day. When you held yourselves accountable, when you showed up with the right attitude, when you worked hard and played within our structure and our system, you were a very strong team. You were hard to play against. You were organized, and you were dangerous. And when we didn't do those things, well, the results spoke for themselves. The biggest takeaway from this season is simple. Hard work and a positive attitude will always give you an edge. That's what coaches are looking for. That's what separates players. And that's something that goes far beyond hockey. Because at the end of the day, hockey is the ultimate team sport. Yes, there are individual moments. Someone scores the goals. Someone makes the big save. But the drive, the passion, and the success all come from the team. Nobody is above anyone else. Everyone has to be pulling in the same direction, at the same speed. If one guy's off, the whole thing is off. Now, beyond the games, there are a few moments that stick out more than others. The countless and impromptu power play sessions with Vince in my grade 11 English class. Those really helped me understand why Vince didn't get much time on the power play. The time Ben Ryu called me to go get him from breakfast because he cut his knee open and couldn't walk back to the hotel. That was quite the sharp piece of ice, wasn't it, Ben? Having to rent equipment because Capoon forgot his at the hotel. The video sessions in the Davis TOD. The moments where you helped me earn my titles as team psychologist and team psychiatrist. I will fondly remember the pep talks and the meltdowns just as much as I remember the singing on the bench. Okay, well, mostly I was the one doing the singing, but that's beside the point. I will also never forget the way you all reacted when I told you that I was going to be a dad. Without a doubt, one of the best moments of my life. As a team, we had some really good moments this year. Moments that make a season what it is. But one of those moments that sticks with me the most is the last time that we were all together as a team. Our playoff semifinal game against Collège Bourget. They're strong, they're physical, they're fast, they're talented. On paper, that game really shouldn't have been close. But like I always like to say, there's a reason you play the game. Before that game, I challenged you guys. I asked you to go out there and play like it was your last one. To give me everything you had, each and every single shift. And I asked you to do it for me. And I could not have been prouder of what I saw. That was one of the best games you as a team played all year. The effort, the commitment, the way you competed, it was incredible. Ultimately, we fell short. Lost 2-1. It was emotional. But today I look back on that and I smile. Because what I saw in that game was a group that gave everything they had, not for themselves, but for each other. And that is something you should all be proud of. At the end of the day, this season wasn't perfect, but I hope you will see it as being meaningful. You learn what it takes to compete, you learn what it means to play for each other, and you showed that when you commit to hard work and a positive attitude, you can do some pretty special things. What I said to you after that final game still stands. I was proud and I was honored to be your coach this year. Honestly, this group meant a lot to me this year, and I won't forget it. For some of you, this is the end of your time in this program with this team. And that's not something to be taken lightly. You helped shape what this team is. You contributed to the standard that we talked about earlier. The way we've competed, the way you carried yourselves, the way you were part of the team. It matters. Whether you've been here for a few years or for a shorter time, you've left your mark on this program. I hope you take everything with you that we talked about this season. The importance of hard work, the value of positive attitude, the understanding that being part of the team means something bigger than yourself. Those are things that will stay with you far beyond your hockey days. And now I want to take a few moments to recognize a few individuals who embodied everything that we've talked about all season. We are awarding 3 Senior S's and 1 Sportsmanship Award, and I will ask that all 4 of you come up together at the end. This year, our first Senior S Award goes to a player who was our wall in net all season. He was consistent from start to finish. He allowed us to settle into games even when it took us a few shifts to realize we were actually playing hockey. He was calm, he was composed, and he gave us a chance to win every single night. As a coach, it's always a great feeling when opposing coaches come up to you after a game and tell you how good your goalie is. And without a doubt in my mind, he was the best goalie in our division this season. Our first Senior S Award goes to Louis Sullivan. The second Senior S goes to a player who led our team in points and was one of our consistent and offensive threats. When he was on the ice, we had a chance to score. He worked hard in practice and applied what we asked of him, unless he was out on the power play. Then he just did whatever he wanted. He was always one of the first guys in the room and one of the last to leave, and that really does say a lot about him as a player and as a student and as a person. This year's second Senior S Award goes to Dominic Capoon. Our final Senior S Award goes to our captain, our leader from the back end, and one of our most versatile players. Need him to play a shift at forward? No problem. Need him to play in front of the net on the power play? No problem. Need him out there for the final 3 minutes of a game protecting a 1-goal lead? Yeah, no problem. He did everything we asked of him. And while he may not have been the most vocal leader, his presence, his determination, and the way he carried himself made him a strong one. Our final Senior S Award goes to Benjamin Magnan. The Sportsmanship Award can mean a lot of different things. It can be for the hardest working player, the nicest teammate, the most helpful person, the player who stays out of the penalty box the most. But when we talked about this award as a staff, one name kept coming up. This player embodies what it means to be a great teammate and a great person. He's polite, he's friendly, and he's always willing to help. He's one of the last guys off the ice after practice, picking up pucks and water bottles. He sticks around after games to shake hands with the other team and the other coaches, always. And honestly, I don't think I can remember a time when he sat in the penalty box. Just an overall, genuinely great person. This year's Sportsmanship Award goes to Ludovic Baudry. Come on up. Going this way?
I'd like to personally thank Coach Eric Dandino for his 3 years of service to the Stansted College hockey program, coaching both our U15 and our U18 teams. Eric, your dedication, care, and fiery passion have been most appreciated. If you've never Googled Eric Dandino's professional hockey career, I would encourage you to do so. You made a great team with Coach Chandler and most recently with Coach Delorme. Thank you so much for your efforts, your commitment, and your time. Merci, Eric. Selecting individual awards is never easy. Throughout the season, everyone on our team chipped in some way, shape, or form. Every player of the U15 team is a valued member. In fact, every player scored at least a goal this year, and all 3 of our goalies shared the net. Our grade 7s, well, they didn't play like grade 7s. Our grade 8s pushed our grade 9s. However, the following players stood out for their overall play on the ice and their contributions to the team off ice. Their attitudes, their comportment, and their consistency. This year's U15 Sportsmanship Award is co-awarded to Liam Dubois and Jonathan Rombotis. Liam and Jonathan showed great care for this team and took it upon themselves to help out in the room and always make sure things were done and ready when no one was watching. On ice, they both enjoyed solid seasons, noticeably improving from last year. They were natural leaders, model teammates, and true gentlemen on and off the ice. The U15 team will have 4 Junior S awards. I'd like the 4 of you to come up with Liam and Jonathan once I'm finished. The first Junior S award goes to Hudson Poulet. Speed, 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 like Lightning McQueen. He's the fastest player on the ice each and every night. Rarely a game goes by where the opposing coach doesn't ask who number 3 is. And just how old is he? The second Junior S goes to Eric Levesque. Eric, you're coachable. You care. You want feedback. You ask for feedback. You relish feedback. You enjoyed a good season, particularly a great first half. And you demonstrated much growth, especially during the playoffs, where you tallied 9 goals in 4 games, ultimately with a hat trick and the semifinal overtime winner. Our third Junior S goes to Antoine Levaik, perhaps the most talented and consistent player on our team from start to finish. Antoine played big minutes. He brings a mix of speed, of skill, and smarts to our back end. He's truly a complete player. And our final Junior S goes to the team captain, Antoine Montigny, our unquestioned leader. Monty cares deeply about every single one of his teammates and could always be counted on to do the right thing. He's awesome in the room. On ice, Monty played big minutes and can really shoot the puck. He brought a real physical element to the game. Gentlemen, please come forward. Now, the U15 season began with only 5 returning players, 3 of which didn't even play games last year, and a total of 15 new members to the team. By the numbers, that's 3 grade 7s, 8 grade 8s, and 7 grade 9s. We started off with a record of 2-4 before turning things around at the Défi in Robertval in November. We left campus for the Christmas holidays with a record of 8-3-2. Since January, our league record was 9-6-2. During the playoff weekend, we played to a 3-1 record, bringing us to a final overall season record of 20 wins, 10 losses, and 4 ties. We finished 4th in the Metropolitan Division, but managed a huge overtime upset on March 22nd to earn an opportunity at the playoff championship next week on April 18th. And, as Metro League finalists, the team has punched our ticket for Quebec City, April 23rd to 26th, where the top 16 teams in Quebec will meet up for the provincial championship. Thank you to Mr. Smits, my co-coach, for being there every step of the way. You're a good friend, great with the kids, and always positive. Thank you to Joseph, who's not here today, Olivier, Mr. Chan, Mr. Myers, all the other coaches for your support throughout the year. Collectively, our players benefited from an incredible amount of resources. Thank you to Mr. Spurk for always being a sounding board and available to listen. Your advice is always spot on. Thank you to Ms. McDonald for allowing me to coach the team. It's been rejuvenating to be back on ice and in the trenches again this year. And thank you to the U15 team community for working together to raise over $2,200 for prostate cancer in February. This was a meaningful moment and a real season highlight. Now to all of you lads over here, the players, that's you. Thank you for accepting our challenges throughout the year and giving us your best when it mattered most. The growth that our team has shared has been remarkable. Opposing coaches and teams respect you. Everyone knows that playing Stansted will never be easy. You never quit and are rarely ever outmatched. You battled this year, you improved, you learned, you overcame disappointment, you accepted that things do not always go your way in sports and in life. And most importantly, you did it with respect and a smile. The Spartan way. It's been a blast working with you fellas. Together, we've come so far from where we started back in the fall. As a coach, as a teacher, that's really all that I can ask for. Yes, the season wasn't perfect. There were challenges beyond the game. That's the reality of dealing with teenagers. But the teaching is ongoing. The lessons continue. During the build-up to the playoffs and a period of 20 days without a game, you all came together as a team and shared stories of your loved ones, of who you wanted to play for. You opened up to one another and bonded. You set aside your personal feelings and, for the most part, accepted what needed to be done for the greater good of the team. I loved that playoff weekend, boys. That semifinal victory was an awesome moment. But that's really not my favorite moment on the season. My favorite moment during this season happened every week, during early morning practices. Picture this. 5:30 a.m. on a cold winter day, opening the arena back door, turning on the lights, placing the nets, filling up water bottles, and making sure all was perfect for the morning skate. The purity of the moment always feels so right. Team members only, braving the cold walk across the field and down the path, the darkness, the frigid temperature, the empty stands, the quiet of the vacant building, the walk to the back locker room, nobody watching, just us, our team, ourselves, the U15s, we few, we happy few, we band of brothers. We'll see you tomorrow morning, fellas. 6:15 a.m. practice. We aren't done just yet. Playoff hockey in April. Thank you. The next programs will have either an MVP trophy or Major S awards. For all of those, I would ask you to kindly stand to recognize the recipients. Prep Boys Hockey, Mr. Magna.
Okay, good. I just want to start with saying thank you to Coach Guy for your help this year, Coach James and Coach Joseph that's not here today. Thank you guys for everything you've done with this team. So Prep Boys 25-26 edition, okay, was a very talented group. It was also the youngest team we've put together. Half of the team was 15 years old in September when we started. When we play in a league where most of the players are 16 and 17 years old. The first few weeks of practice exceeded my expectations. 2 weeks in, when Rosalie and Laurie asked me how the team looked, I replied, I don't think we're losing a game all year. Then on our first weekend, we ended up losing 2 out of 3. So we had a lot of work to do. But the guys wanted to get better. They were ready to put the effort. I counted 13 morning practice where everyone was at the rink at 6 a.m., ready and willing to work. Effort always pays off. Not long after, we won the LCC tournament at the end of November. 2 weeks later, we fell short at the St. Andrews tournament. We started really good by beating Shaddocks, then lost to Cooper on a tough game. Then fast forward to early February. We hosted Graham Neal tournament. With a short roster, we probably played our best hockey that weekend. Note that the last time Stansted won it was 19 years ago. When the player's expectation is to win all the time, to be the best in every action, it creates winning habits that enables personal and team growth. When practices become more competitive than games, when that winning mentality spreads inside the team and guys starts asking, hey coach, 1 more rep. No, 2 more. Hey, no, 3 more reps. When they all want to be the winner and not the loser of that moment, when this winning mentality becomes how you approach everything at school and life in general, then you set yourself up for success. Even if we didn't win at the end, the growth of everyone individually and collectively as a team was spectacular. We didn't get the result we all wanted, but losing is an important piece of getting better and understanding what needs to be done, changed, or adjust in order to win. I'm very proud of you guys. You had a good journey. Good job, guys. So now I'll be giving 2 Senior S awards, 1 MVP, and 1 Sportsmanship award. Okay, the Sportsmanship award is going to have 2 recipients. A player's impact in the game is always measured in stats: goals, assists, plus minus, shots on net, whatever it is. One of the most important aspects of the game that is not measured in numbers is leadership. Leadership doesn't come easy at this age. It's hard to be a leader. It's not natural. This year we had 2 really good ones, 2 very different ones. Kieran was loud. He was the spark when the team needed it. He was the one telling everyone what to do. On the other hand, we had Chaz, quiet, leading by example, leading by being calm and composure. A great mix to have. Chaz Fauché, Kieran O'Brien. Good job, guys. Now the first Senior S award. It's going to a player that was a game changer on offense. He was fast, shifty, smart with the puck, and has a great shot. His shot was so good that a team played a man-on-man coverage with him in PK. Even Ovechkin doesn't get that in the NHL. He led the team with 29 goals in 41 games, also adding 25 assists and 51 points. Shane-Alexandre Dubé. Guys, come up here. Okay, the second Senior S Award is also the recipient of the MVP trophy. This player has the ability to take over a game offensively and defensively, and he did it a few times. His playmaking ability, his shot, his IQ, his physicality, and the way he defends are all elite. He led the team in points with 61, scored an impressive 19 goals, all doing this while playing big defensive minutes, assistant captain Elliott Fauché.
Thank you, Mr. Magna. And now our next program, Prep Girls Hockey.
On behalf of the Prep Girls, a heartfelt thank you to all the parents, teachers, and to the entire hockey department for all your unwavering support and accommodations that you made throughout the year, all of the efforts that went in behind the scenes to make sure that we had everything that we needed. It did not go unnoticed. To all the friendly faces we saw at the Pat Burns Arena, to Boston and everywhere in between, thank you for coming to support us. A special thank you to Martin. This year would not have been the same without you. All your tireless efforts and sacrifices that you made for the group, we cannot thank you enough. This year, we welcome 16 new players and families to the Prep Girls, a large number of new players on any team. The questions that were asked to our returning players at the end of the season: what went well, what should we adjust on, and what do you want in your final season with the Prep Girls? The last question I asked was, can you welcome each and every one of your new teammates to Stansted the way that you wished you had been welcomed? We've all felt that moment of being uncomfortable, that moment of being in an environment that's not our own, it's new and it's different. That moment of not really knowing anyone. Could we do our best to recreate the comforts of home and that sense of family? I was met with expressions as if they'd already planned for this. Skip ahead. Our last weekend of the year, and on paper a game against an opponent that we should have beaten with relative ease. A Carey Price-like performance keeps them in the game until the very end. There's no panic, there's no reason to worry, we've got this. Only a few minutes after we scored the first goal, about halfway through the game, the pressure is still on, the puck pops out to the blue line. Zoe steps into one and finds the back of the net to make it 2-0. The bench erupts, Zoe's line mates swarm her like it's Game 7, and equally, all the parents celebrate around her family. In all the flailing arms and bodies, two of her teammates race the net to collect the puck. It was Zoe's first goal as a Spartan. This year seemed to be a little bit too easy. 62 games, 52 wins, 9 losses, and 1 tie. 258 goals for and 78 goals against. 4 championship banners that came back to Stansted, including the title JWHL champions for the 3rd year in a row. We beat number 1 in Quebec, number 1 in Ontario, and number 1 in the US, the eventual national champions. That's not to say we didn't face adversity along the way. A couple season-ending injuries, players in unfamiliar positions on the ice, roles that not everyone had experienced, and we even had some games in which we played with 12 skaters. In every game that we played, someone different found a chance to prove themselves and contribute however was needed, a moment to make their own. Once again, it was like they'd already planned for this. I scratched my head thinking of a theme for this evening to wrap up the season. Clearly, there were great moments, memories, and a lot of success on the ice throughout the year. From claps to snaps, TikTok trends, Secret Santas and Valentines, riding around DC in Little Cheese, and a lot of woo-woos from the bench, and even finding out that Target is actually pronounced Target in the US. There is no deeper meaning. The answer is quite cliche and was way too simple. They can be substituted for each other. I would go with team or with family. So the biggest thank you of all goes to the Prep Girls. It's hard to appreciate what you're doing in the moment as things go by quickly. I hope that you're able to take a step back and look at the versions of yourselves in September when you first stepped on campus and the versions of yourselves today. You've embraced every challenge and opportunity at Stansted. To watch you grow together as people, as players, and as members of the Stansted community has been an absolute privilege over the past 8 months. You've left an incredibly big shoes to fill for future years to come. I'm beyond proud of each and every one of you. Thank you. So with a lot of success comes a lot of awards. I apologize, but I would ask that everyone announce, I'd wait till we announce all the award winners before applauding. Our Sportsmanship Award this year goes to someone who embodies what it means to have a growth mindset. She offered a helping hand at every chance and has the uncanny ability to bring people together without trying, even when she was extremely tired. It was around this time last year where her parents had told me, "Do not sleep on her, she will surprise everyone." I think it's safe to say that you've knocked down every obstacle in your way this year. Congratulations, Marco Simard. On to our senior S's. As the last line of defense, great goalies give their teammates the confidence to play free and loose, knowing that they'll be called upon when times get tough and that any potential mistake often gets highlighted on the scoreboard. Our goalies turned in consistent and dominant performances game after game. Combining for 23 shutouts, this duo instilled fear into opponents, and rightfully so. Congratulations to Lauriane Boutreau and Jad Wilson. Being a great defenseman is about more than just stopping an opponent's attack. Rather, they shape the entire game by using their intelligence, positioning, and physical skills to contribute all over the ice in all situations of the game. Having played much of the season shorthanded and only 5 defensemen, these two made direct contributions each and every time they stepped on the ice and elevated their play throughout the year. Congratulations, Eloise Gagné and Elizabeth Papineau. Lastly, you can't win games without great offense. Their commitment to playing a full 200-foot game, creating opportunities for their teammates, and capitalizing on their own chances was on display every time they suited up. When it came to big games, there was no one else that rose to the occasion like these two. Simply put, they delivered when we needed them the most. Congratulations to Jaden Bingham and Chanel Willette. Margot, Lauriane, Jad, Eloise, Elizabeth, Jaden, and Chanel, please come up to accept your awards. Right. Lastly, what can I say that hasn't been said in the past 2 years? The student athlete does everything with the utmost care, passion, and perseverance. She's a model of consistency, dedication, and a leader day in and day out. I believe the only games that she did not have a point in were the games that she did not play in. Talk about a difference maker. Our final senior S and team MVP, congratulations, Elizabeth Belanger.
Thank you, Mr. Auerbach. And now our next program, Senior Girls Basketball, Ms. Davis.
everybody. I'm Coach Davis, and before I talk about this team, I want to start with a thank you. I could not be standing here tonight without the support and the guidance of both Mr. Spurk and Mr. Simard. I didn't see Mr. Simard when I came in, but I think he's here. A season like this takes a lot more than people realize. Planning and patience and organization and flexibility and a lot of caffeine. So thank you both for everything you did behind the scenes to make sure that and help to make this season happen and to help make it a great experience for these girls. So, and girls, I really want you to hear this, that sometimes it's easy just to show up and play and get on a bus and go home without realizing how much work it takes to make the season happen, and the schedules and the gym time and the transportation and the uniforms and the scorebook and the scorekeepers and the games and the practices, but it's all a part of it, and that's what makes high school sports special. As we wrap up the winter season, I want to recognize a group of young women who gave this team their time and their energy and their heart. And this senior girls basketball team was about so much more than our wins and losses. It was about growth and toughness, and it was about learning to keep showing up for your teammates, for your coaches, and for yourselves, and every single player mattered. Ellie, you brought energy and enthusiasm and a willingness to improve every day. She was so enthusiastic all the time. She came in ready to work, ready to learn, and always brought a positive spark to wherever we were. Olivia gave us consistency, hard work, and reliability all season long. She was someone we could count on, and that steady presence means a lot to a team. Desiree, as the only freshman on our team, she showed tremendous growth and commitment this season. Watching her confidence grow and her game improve as much as it did, it was incredibly rewarding, and I'm just really proud of her and the player that she's become this year. Evany, you bring such a spark and a level of grit that is so hard to miss. She played with heart and toughness and determination, and watching her start to realize just how much potential she has to be a basketball player, it's just one of the most rewarding parts of this season. Kimmy, you gave this team dedication and positivity, and you always were happy to be there, a great attitude every single day, and you brought a steady, uplifting energy that really made our team a lot stronger. Gawan, you just showed such resilience and effort and loyalty to your teammates every day. You showed up, you worked hard, and you gave this team exactly what it needed. And Sarah Martinez, you brought heart and support and determination to this group. You were an important part of this team, and your presence helped shape the kind of season that we had. And not every contribution shows up on a scoreboard. Sometimes the most important thing a player brings is energy and attitude and encouragement and the ability to keep a team together when things are hard. And this team had a lot of that. I also want to recognize our captains, Miranda Garcia and Sarah Leisure. Leadership is not always loud. Sometimes it's not a speech or a big moment. It's just being the person who works hard and stays steady and helps hold the group together. Sarah Leisure, thank you for leading by example and helping keep this team focused, connected, and moving forward all season long. Your leadership mattered and your teammates felt it. So now for my awards. My sportsmanship award goes to Zoe Keefe. Zoe, this award says so much about who you are. Sportsmanship is about respect and character and attitude and how you carry yourself with teammates, opponents, officials, other coaches, even in moments when emotions are high and the refs may or may not be seeing the whole game we see. You represented this team the right way all season long. Thank you for being the kind of teammate every player needs. And I'd like to present the Senior S Award to Miranda Garcia. Miranda, one of our captains and our senior, you were so often our spark, our jump start on defense. You had a way of coming off the bench and immediately changing the energy in a game. You had a quick steal, a huge defensive stop, a momentum-changing play, and suddenly the whole team woke up, and the bench got louder, and everybody remembered why we were there. and you got the party started when we needed it the most. Miranda, thank you for your leadership, your fire, and the way you showed up for this program. Right? You guys have to come up here. Okay. So our Major S award winners for girls basketball. Erica, is Erica here today? Yeah, okay. Thank you for the energy and effort you bring to practices and games. You helped set the tone each game, and that mattered more than people realized. You showed up early and you leave late. I find you shooting alone in the gym more often than not. You are so deserving of this award. And Clara, oh, sorry, come up here. I forgot. Sorry, Clara. Oh, sorry. Thank you, Miss. Sorry, sorry, Clara. Thank you, too. So, my next Major S award, Clara Buck Thompson. Thank you for your grit and your determination and your toughness. I know I was often the hardest on you during practice, and sometimes the weight of a whole game would come down on your shoulders. You pushed through it all and grabbed every rebound anyway, and I'm so proud of you, of the player that you're becoming. One more Major S award, and that's for Julia Lee. Thank you for the intensity, the confidence, and the competitive fire you bring every single time you step on the floor. You pushed and pushed, and I'm so proud of you, Julia Lee. How are you? What? Clara? What? Oh, okay. So, and now for our MVPs of the season. So Julia Lee has exactly one speed, and that's fast. She's our tempo creator, our playmaker, and someone who finds a way to score exactly when we need it most. Julia brought an incredible level of competitiveness all season long. She played with confidence, urgency, and heart, and she made a huge impact every time she stepped on the court. And Clara, Your work ethic and your growth over the course of this season were truly unmatched. You brought grit, toughness, and determination every day, and you earned this recognition through effort, resilience, and the way you kept pushing yourself to get better. Clara. And Julia. Thanks, girls. Sorry. Yeah. Thank you. Sorry for that.
Thank you, Ms. Davis. Our next program, Varsity Girls Hockey, Mr. Pym.
Hello all. I will try to keep this as short as possible. Before I get started, I just want to give a shout out to Mr. Logan Foote. We all love to talk about our team. We all wish we were at a level where we get interviewed to talk about our team. And maybe you're just trying to keep me from getting into economics, but I really enjoyed the interview questions that you would always ask in reflection after the weekend, Logan. So I thought the questions were sincere and thoughtful, so thanks so much to you. So I'm proud to say that the 25-26 Stansted varsity girls season was another outstanding chapter in our program. Before diving into the highlights, I want to recognize the people who provided the energy in everything we do and celebrate this year's individual award winners first. To our faculty and staff, it's such a great community of coaches, Mr. Van Dyke, Mr. Chandler, Mr. Thompson, Mr. Simard, who live with me in the model school. Beautiful sounding boards to talk about coaching. Our wellness team, our leadership group, thank you for showing up for our girls day after day, helping them chase big goals with confidence. To Olivier, Joseph, Adrian, Alex, and Nick, our goalie consultants, your commitment on and off the ice has pushed our players to grow, compete, and believe in themselves. You've made a real impact in these girls' lives. And most pertinently or importantly to Shannon, my wife, Mrs. Pym, and Coach Matt Chan, your unwavering care, your kindness, your selflessness set the tone for our entire program. You are the heartbeat of this team, and we are so grateful. I am so grateful for everything you do. Thank you. In true Mr. Van Dyke fashion, before we relive the season's best moments, I want to kick things off by presenting our Senior and Major S Awards, along with our Most Sportsmanlike and Most Valuable Player honors. Laurie Oban on the way here asked me if I was nervous, and I said, no, I've done this 7 times now. But actually what makes me nervous is realizing that a few of you are not going to receive one of these awards because we have so many phenomenal world-class young women in our program and on our team. So yes, that part of it definitely makes me nervous. So with the Senior S Awards, I'm going to call you up all at the same time. First up, with the 4 Senior S's we want to give out tonight. For us, these players exemplify our team's core values and are more than worthy recipients of a Senior S. They are intentional in their daily efforts to connect with their teammates. They exemplify a level of care and commitment on a consistent basis that sets them apart from the rest. And they embody what it means to be compassionate to everyone in their community. More specifically, game in and game out, they put their team first and always strive to execute the game plan. They work through the grind of the season, through the minor aches and pains and the stress of tough academic demands to make every scheduled practice they can. And even if they haven't had their best day, their best game, their best practice, they stay steady in their body language and connected to their coaches and their teammates by smiling and encouraging others along the way. For these reasons, I'm calling up Charlotte Labreche, Charlie Papillon, Berta Moseley, and Dior Stringer to receive their Senior S for the 25-26 Stansted College Varsity Girls team. On to our Major S awards, as well as our Most Sportsmanlike and Most Valuable Player awards. In total, we have 4 Major S's. First, with 100 points on the season, a gold medal for Team Quebec, a full scholarship to the University of Vermont. Zoe Charland was absolutely key to our success this year. Her power, pace, length, and quick release made her a threat on the ice every shift she played. As one of our long-term, 5-year prep and varsity Spartans, Zoe put her mark on our program, elevating the prep team to a JWHL championship, just a goal that we historically remember on home ice with Laurie Aubin. So in elevating the prep team to new heights and showing how a young French-Canadian girl can come to Stansted, pursue her studies in English while developing into a Division I scholarship player who was able to become a key contributor to her provincial team's first ever gold medal run. Your care, your commitment, and your steady presence have been instrumental in the growth of our entire program. Seeing you grow up on our team fills me with pride and joy. My favorite moment, my favorite Zoe moment of the season was seeing you cry after a loss to St. Laurent in Ottawa. That's when I truly knew just how much you cared. Please join me and Mr. Chan in presenting Zoe Charland with Major S. Our second Major S goes to another 5-year Spartan who has spent the last 3 seasons competing at the varsity level. She earned a silver medal with Team Quebec a year ago and secured a full scholarship to Boston College. And while we fell just short of the league championship, something I know Penelope wanted more than anything, her impact on this program goes far beyond wins and losses. Penelope, you've been a driving force in building a culture of commitment and competition. Your intensity, your work ethic, your desire to push yourself and everyone around you have set you apart from almost every player you compete with or against. All I can say with confidence as your economics teacher that the same drive that you bring to the gym and onto the ice is exactly how you approach your studies in the classroom. Your influence on this program is undeniable. It'll be unforgettable. Like Zoe, ironically, one of my favorite moments of the season was when you challenged me in Washington after the Bell Tire game. I loved it. That fire will serve you so well in life. Please come forward and join Mr. Chan and I to accept our second Major S, Penelope Lavoie. Our third major S goes to the recipient of our Most Sportsmanlike Player of the Year. This player exemplifies courage, care, commitment, and compassion at levels I've rarely seen before. In traveling with the prep team several times this year, sitting behind her in our most recent athletic assembly, it solidified for me just how connected she is to all of the players in our program, both prep and varsity. In a perfect world, we have no hierarchies in our culture. We all sweep the sheds. We all load the bus. Anyone can sit with anyone, anywhere, at any time. At your best, Laurie Oban, you embody this mindset, these values. Furthermore, you're one of the most resilient players I've ever had the pleasure to coach. Last year, you recovered from a serious eye injury to finish the season as one of our best players. This year, you nursed a serious knee injury to lead your Spartans in big games, Team Quebec to gold at Nationals, while earning a silver with Team Canada at this year's World Championships. I also forgot to mention your full scholarship to the University of Connecticut. Go Huskies. Tough, courageous, resilient, compassionate, and one of the best players to ever wear a Stansted College varsity girls jersey. Please join me in welcoming Laurie Oban as our Most Sportsmanlike Player of the Year and Major S. Our fourth and final Major S goes to the recipient of our Most Valuable Player Award. Over 3 years as a varsity Spartan and 5 years in our program, but 3 years as a varsity Spartan, Rosalie scored 121 goals, 160 assists for an incredible 281 points. Without question, Rosalie is the most talented and most accomplished player our program has ever had, and the most accomplished player I've ever coached. A two-time Team Canada medalist, including gold in 24-25, Rosalie also earned 3 medals with Team Quebec, captaining this year's Team Quebec to its first ever gold medal at the Nationals. She led our Spartans this season with 116 points, put our team on our team on her back at the Kitchener-Waterloo USA Cup, going 5-0 despite not getting to the final, and became just the 3rd player in program history to commit to the powerhouse national championship winning Wisconsin Badgers. Rosalie, you are quite simply the most driven and competitive player I've ever coached. Your relentless pursuit of excellence has elevated everyone around you. We have no doubt you will continue to achieve great things in hockey and in life. Everyone, please join me in recognizing Rosalie Tremblay as this year's Varsity Spartans Most Valuable Player and our 4th Major S. All right, real quick with the seasonal recap. Logan knows the answers to most of these questions already. The 25-26 season will be one that most of us will reflect and likely say we left some potential on the table. By the numbers, we won 48 games, we lost 17 and tied 4. We traveled almost 20,000 kilometers, stayed 31 nights in hotels, rode the bus for approximately 160 hours, the equivalent of 4 full work weeks. While playing 60 games on the road and 7 games at home, we scored 255 goals while giving up 139 against for an average of 3.81 to 2. This is a real accomplishment given the fact we played the hardest schedule by my hockey rankings of any team at our level in North America. Compound that with the fact that almost all of our games were on the road, and we can begin to see why I believe we actually accomplished so much this year. To add more difficulty and complexity to our team development, we lost some of the best players for extended periods of time due to national and international events. In effect, we became a casualty of our individual success. While some contend these might be excuses, I believe they're just the facts. Despite losing all 3 games on championship weekend, I will always choose to believe that we played extremely well and simply ran out of one runway on our journey to fulfilling our potential. At our best, we were fast, tough, disciplined, focused, and connected in our efforts. In outshooting and outchancing our opponents in most of our big games, we became more and more disciplined with each loss, with each learning lesson. We literally took just 3 penalties over the entire last 3 games of the season and were perfect on the penalty kill, while going 31% overall on the power play over the course of the year, scoring a big one in our semifinal. Good job, Matt Chan. At the end of the day, that's life, that's hockey, that's the way it goes. We are a team and a program built on sacrifice, the kind of sacrifice required to truly earn what our girls are striving for. To find the best competition and the best opportunities in front of college coaches, our players climb onto the bus almost every other weekend and travel to places like Boston, Toronto, Ottawa, Minneapolis, and Washington, D.C. They play 5, sometimes 6 high-level games every single weekend. And if that's not enough, after 2 intense games a day against some of the toughest opponents in North America, many of our girls finish the night or start the morning with an exam. Their commitment is absolutely relentless. Every one of our players graduates from our program with college opportunities, and most now compete on the provincial or national level. With those additional commitments, many of our girls will play 80 to 90 games a season, practice 150 to 200 times a year, and complete another 150 workouts on top of that. For them, hockey has become life, and life has become hockey. Given that both of my sons and my daughter's experience, this stage of your life will be over in a nanosecond, so cherish it. The result of our journey is that you get tougher, grittier, smarter, more resourceful. You're more than capable and more prepared for whatever comes next. By staying in touch with our graduates, the message is always the same. College is great, school is easier than Stansted. I love my team, I love my program. Thank you for everything you did to help me get here, Coach. I know now what you were trying to teach me back then. We currently have 14 alumni who have raised their hand to come back and work the Stansted College Summer Camp. And hopefully, fingers crossed, we'll be hiring our first varsity girls Spartan alumni later this spring. All of our players go on to become key contributors for their college teams, and while next season will bring another chance to chase the big games, the JWHL 19U Championship, the real victory is knowing that our girls are ready to thrive long after they leave us. Pierre Arsenault, Jamie Arsenault's dad, once asked me if I was having fun coaching this team, if I had any joy in it. It was a fair question given my stoic approach and demeanor on the bench. The Coach Belichick poster in my office kind of says it all when describing how I am in this environment. But I can assure you, anyone that cares to notice, the individual and collective growth of all 42 of our girls in our program this year, each and every year brings me deep joy and complete and unconditional fulfillment. The energy you breathe into this campus on a daily basis is all the justification I need and the hope that we all need to pause, reflect, and feel sincerely grateful for the season we just enjoyed. We didn't have to ride the bus, we got to. We didn't have to practice, we got to. We didn't have to play in those big games, we got to play in those big games. I sincerely believe that it is an absolute privilege to live here, teach here, and coach you. Girls, thank you so much.
Thank you, Mr. Pym. Final program of the night, Varsity Boys Hockey, Mr. Thompson.
Before I get started with what I've written here, Prep Girls Hockey, 52 wins, 4 championships, but smiles, fun, and enthusiasm all the time. Congratulations. Good job. I was really worried that this was going to be too long, but then Mr. Delorme started the night, so I'm at peace. I'll be okay. Thank you to Coach Vanas and Coach DeRoche. Mentors, allies, friends, good people, passionate and wonderful hockey coaches. So thank you for everything you gave this year as well. I'll start off with some awards. Number 1, our Sportsmanship Award was earned by a player who went about his work, asked for nothing, celebrated everything and everyone around him, and did all of this with integrity and commitment while improving his play month by month. An exceptional teammate and a friend to all, a veteran Spartan. Sportsmanship Award to Corey Logan. Our first Major S is awarded to a 2-year Spartan who has more confidence with the puck than I have doing just about anything I do. His ability to move the puck out of our zone with his feet or with a pass was pivotal to our success this year. A young man who has pushed forward on the ice and helped everyone off the ice be heard. Major S to Dylan Orr. Our second Major S is awarded to a 2-year Spartan who has excelled on the ice while being a leader around campus in so many ways. He's an actor, he's a singer, and yes, we talk about how we can get out of economics class every once in a while. Logan has likely grown as a player more than any individual that I have ever coached at Stansted, developing into a physical 200-foot defenseman that now plays in all situations with poise and confidence. Major S, Logan Foote. Our third Major S is earned by a 3-year Spartan. So much in sport is about seizing opportunity. From being a late addition to our team last season to expanding his role as our roster changed this season, he quietly became a strong, point-producing defenseman for our team. Always passionate, maybe a little too passionate at times, but he chases success for the team in all that he does. Major S, Max Shepard. This Major S has been earned through determination and hard work. A 3-year Spartan who has seen major improvements year in and year out during his time here. He is without a doubt one of the most impressive net front players who I have ever seen, with his unique ability to tip pucks, in particularly on the power play. A strong forechecker, a timely scorer, a player who can play in any situation, and someone who always takes pride in blocking the next shot. Major S, Emmanuel Gantz. Finally, a Major S, as well as the Dawes MVP Trophy for excellence in sportsmanship in hockey, will be awarded to our leader and our captain. Humble by nature and an athlete who has had to overcome untimely injuries throughout his Stansted career, he has become an elite all-around forward, often being the best player and most impactful player on the ice. A gentleman, a leader, and a proud Spartan. Major S and Dawes Trophy for excellence and sportsmanship in hockey to number 11, our captain, Brodie Malloy. I recently wrote an article for the school website that focused on some key people in my hockey journey. These men not only made hockey fun, but they believed in me, and I knew it. They got the most out of me, and they provided me with a positive hockey experience, all in their own way. Mr. Hussey was a former football player and coach, larger in size, larger than life in size and enthusiasm. He was a high school teacher to his core. Mr. Bell was a hockey lifer, a youth hockey coach year in and year out who paid the bills as a Zamboni driver. The rink was his workplace and his happy place. Mr. Leslie was a businessman. He was savvy, confident, soft-spoken, kind, and generous. Finally, Mr. Robinson was a man with presence. He walked into the rink like many walk into a boardroom. Hockey was his business. He lived it, talked it, and excels at it until today. 4 examples of wonderful coaches during my youth created my love for this game and my love for coaching. Former UCLA basketball coach John Wooden, who has probably been mentioned more in these assemblies than any other coach. Coach Wooden believed in the idea of coaching being authentic to who you are and had the following to say: you got to do it the way you're wired to do it, not the way anyone else did. He went on to explain that as coaches, and I will add that as people and players in sport, that we have to live according to our strengths, our character, and our beliefs. Life is not about trying to be who we are not. Be who you are. Be confident and be proud. The season we just went through had no playbook. No coaching manual would have had all the answers anyways. From injuries to players moving on, our roster was in constant flux and undermanned. We hit rock bottom at the CSSHL East-West Challenge. We went 0-4 that weekend. We didn't play poorly, we just didn't win. In the dressing room following that last game, there was a sense of calm that sat among other emotions: anger, confusion, and teenage sadness. In these moments, we all need our teammates and our coaches the most. I wasn't the coach who was going to draw up the perfect play, but I had Coach Mario for that. I wasn't the coach that has the perfect memory for what just happened, but I had Coach Vanos for that. But I always felt that these learning moments had me at home in my hockey classroom. I took a seat on the bench, we sat at the same level, and we talked. We talked about our feelings. We reminded ourselves about our first meeting after Christmas. We talked about how all that mattered was that in that room, we all walked out together and strong. Growth and improvement in sports and in life often happen when we feel we're struggling the most. We needed to embrace this and let our learning lead to results in time. After this rock bottom moment, we responded with 8 wins in a row. We finished our season on a stretch of 13-4-1 hockey. We always believed that we could do it, so this finish only surprised those who were outside our locker room. What makes me most proud of this group of young men is that when times were tough, they pushed forward together and allowed the game and our time together as a team away from the rink and the game to remain fun. Elite athletes don't always remember to be normal teenagers. These guys did. Win or lose, if there was a pool or a hot tub back at the hotel, we found it. And we talked about life's real problems and chatted about so many other things. They always found time for a fist bump, for Hendog, Layla, Charlotte, or Gabriel. You are role models, gentlemen, to these young children, and it means more to us than you'll ever know. The closeness that this team created over the final 3 months of this season was special. Our improvement as individuals, your excellence in learning your roles within the team game, and the unwavering belief in team spirit continued to motivate everyone around our group. I fully believe that you deserved the storybook ending, but I've been reminded that maybe we got what we got because we're strong enough to handle it. On January 4th, many people outside were counting you out. But every time I spoke to you, I saw the look in your eyes of belief and determination, and I saw our small group prove doubters wrong. This allowed me to continue to be true and to be authentic. You let me be a teacher and the arena be the classroom. You let positivity be powerful, and you allowed yourself to be vulnerable with your peers. And we found our success and found our way. 35 wins, one exceptionally tough loss, but countless memories and life lessons. As I have said time and time again, boys, I'm proud of you.
Thank you, Coach Thompson. I'd ask you for a little bit more patience. There'll be 2 final speeches this afternoon. I'd like to thank Logan Vanos for his many years of service supporting the prep boys and varsity boys hockey teams as an amazing assistant coach over the past decade. Throughout Logan's time, he's demonstrated that he's a real professional. Logan can always be counted on as loyal, passionate, hardworking, and a dedicated coach. He's personally one of the most talented athletes that I've ever known, and definitely has an exceptional eye for the game, whether recruiting, coaching on ice, or just watching as a fan. I'll never forget the day I received a phone call from Logan back in August of 2007. I was in Toronto. Young Logan Vanos was a student at Alexander Galt High School and contacted me about transferring to Stansted to attend school, play sports, and of course, tend between the pipes with the Stansted College varsity boys hockey team. Our relationship developed from that call, where he would join the Spartan family as a student athlete, become a prefect, an honor roll student, and a dominant 3-sport athlete in soccer, hockey, and golf. After coaching Logan for a few seasons, he moved on to college, but we always stayed in touch. He would eventually start volunteering to help out during major Stansted hockey tournaments, and that of course led him to joining the varsity boys coaching staff as a volunteer assistant. Logan put in the work, he put in the time. Over the next decade, Logan would eventually coach soccer here at Stansted, as well as join the Prep Boys hockey staff on a formal role while working in the advancement office. Since COVID, Logan moved up the ranks to take on a huge role overseeing hockey admissions, as well as being the formal assistant coach of the boys varsity hockey team. Throughout this time, Logan always demonstrated true loyalty to all around him. He made a great team with Coach Matthew Thompson, and the two forged an obvious, strong friendship. Logan, I thank you so much for all of your years of service coaching on our hockey program. I'm delighted to see you take on an even bigger admissions role next year, and I know that our program is in great hands with you at the helm of recruiting. You were an amazing player to coach. You've been a great co-coach to me personally over many years, and you've always been a true friend. It's obvious that your efforts have impacted so many Spartans. Now perhaps this will only be a short pause from being a bench coach. I'm sure we will see you back in action one day. That opportunity will always be there. Thank you, Logan. Again, thank you for your patience. Matthew Thompson is a true boarding school person. He's the epitome of what it means to teach, coach, and be a house parent in an independent school. He's a professional at heart and a highly respected figure in the independent school system and hockey world. I'd like to thank Coach Thompson for his 14 years of dedicated service to our hockey program. Matt is without question one of the most committed coaches that I've ever come across. I first made Matt's acquaintance back in 2011 when I received a call from Stephen Slicky Telling, the son of my former department head and Stansted alum. During that call, it was clear that the Appleby College people were advocating for the strengths of Matt Thompson and pushing for him to have an opportunity to school with perhaps a more robust hockey program. And I do recall Stephen passionately stating that Matt would be a perfect fit for Stansted. And he was. Matt joined our school community as a tenured teacher, house parent, prep boys assistant coach. He'd quickly gravitate to the varsity team and eventually take on the role as head coach after the COVID years. Throughout his journey, Matt put in the time, worked hard, and offered outstanding service to the varsity team. During his leadership as head coach, the varsity team enjoyed solid seasons versus ferocious competition throughout New England. A few notable key moments were the Canadian Prep School Hockey Alliance National Championship victories in 2002 and 2024. During Matt's time as coach, he was also a full-time teacher and often a house parent. He took on clubs, a role as faculty scat president, and essentially could always be counted on to help in absolutely every facet of life at Stansted College. But coaching the varsity boys hockey team was his love and his passion. I personally learned a great deal watching Matt's approach, how he approached the game, and managed his players in such a humanistic way. Matt truly cared about his boys, about you boys. That was so evident from day one. In later years, I found it very special to watch Matt take off on road trips and bring his best friend, Gabriel, with him and the team when possible. This human side to coaching was never lost on me. Matt, it's been a privilege to work with you for all of these years as your colleague. You're a friend, a sounding voice, and a truly unique boarding school person. Although you'll be moving on to a new role next year, I'm comforted knowing that we will all benefit from your presence and continued impact as a teacher and role model at Stansted College. You have offered outstanding years of service to our hockey program and left a legacy that you can truly be proud of. The many players that you have influenced along the way have been most fortunate to have you as their coach. During this time, you've also moved on so many players to the junior ranks. Your passion and your efforts are truly appreciated. Lastly, I want to personally thank you for your ability to navigate a rather challenging final year. Your ability to lead in all situations has been most impressive, and the performance of your team under extraordinary circumstances unmatched. You've been and are a true professional. Thank you. Thank you to all students in the room. Your comportment has been A+, the Stansted way. Thank you for your patience and your attentiveness. Could everyone that won an award please come forward for pictures? And please stand and wait for the platform party and your coaches to exit the building first. You can all now go change and get right to dinner. Thank you again, and have a great evening.